All right, so we're going to get this call started here. If you are interested in how to put together a Valentine's Day event to get more repeat and referrals from your friends, family, and past clients, you're in the right place. We'll be talking about that today, along with a lot of other information. So let's go ahead and hop in. Hi, welcome to the RAMS Agents Production Coaching Call. The goal of the call is to help you sell more homes by maximizing your repeat and referral closings by implementing the Referral Agent Mastery System into your practice. My name is Mike Cerrone, co-founder of RAMS Agents, and my co-host is Angela Newman, a master trainer of RAMS Agents. Hello, Angela. How are you today?
Hello, Mike. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the call. We're really happy that you're here.
Yeah, this is fantastic. We have a good call today. It's been cold outside. Uh, we're getting snow in Austin and Houston. Did we get any snow in Tennessee, Blake?
Not this round, although we are expecting it in Georgia. It's further south, running further south than Tennessee.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Cool. Chicago sent it down to us. Apparently, Chicago's -10 today. Denver's been in the single digits for the last 3 days, and touching down to zero. So hopefully everybody's staying warm out there. Let's go ahead. I think Angela Scott started earlier, so I'm not sure if we have anybody left, but let's go ahead and do some good news. Who's got some good news for us they'd like to share before we get into our hot topic?
I have an
So,
offer on the listing that that I've been dealing with for a while. So I just got that offer I mean, moments before this call started. So I'm pulling it up now to review it. So, yeah,
yay! Congratulations,
at least
Blake.
we got something.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for joining us. I'm sure you're
Yeah.
distracted with that. That's
Yeah.
very exciting. Now, Blake, to let everybody know, you've had that listing for how long?
Let's see. We are about 80 days into it, I think.
80
Since
days in.
Yeah, about
And
80 days in.
what did you do last week that you think made a change and you got your, well, first of all, how many showings did you have over that 80 days?
So, well, last week when we were like at 73 days, um, we had a total of 5 showings, two of which were people that I had recruited from the neighborhood when I had 2 open houses. So, the other 3 showings, and I'm counting a showing of one party that didn't even go in the house. They drove up to it, and the realtor said they didn't like the neighborhood, so we didn't even go inside. So, but I'm still counting that as a showing because they showed part of it. Um, anyway, so I had a total of 5 showings in 73 days.
And then you made a change last week. What happened?
That's right. So, based on evidence that I was able to present, we went from we had a price adjustment from $300,000 to 275 on the listing, and that, of course, generated a lot more activity from online viewing. We got a lot more views of the property and a showing that occurred within a day, and that party went back a couple of times, and they just now have sent over an offer.
That's fantastic. Congratulations, Blake. So that's a good reminder that as the market softens, if it's softening in your area, you often have to move to the market, right? If you missed the mark on the listing, you're going to move to them. If you're under market, oftentimes you'll get a multiple offer situation, even a slow market, and the market will bring it back up. But the problem for most people is the resistance to move down. And so you got to be able to talk to your clients. Blake told us last time about how he was keeping his people really well educated and knowledgeable about what was happening by giving them weekly reports so they knew exactly what was going on. There was no confusion when he said, hey, we got to make a change here if you want to achieve your goals. So congratulations, Blake. That's great news. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Anybody else with some good news?
Well, I had my house that's been on the market since August. We got that under contract and got past the option period. We're closing in on January 31st. So that's been a nice situation for my client. So we're happy about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, Judith, good job. Now, Judith is in Austin. It was one of the hottest markets in the country for many years. It was breaking records, but it's one of the markets that turned first, right? What, about a year and a half ago or so, Judith? Is that right? Where things
I would
started to
say
slide?
June of 2022.
June of 22. So that's more than a year and a half ago. Was that two
Yeah.
and a half years ago? Yeah. All right. And so you've seen the slide and you've given us some examples. This house that just went under contract, how long were you on the market?
Since August, so we were on almost 6 months.
Yeah. And that's why you got to take long listing agreements, by the way, everybody. Remember to take long listing agreements today because your market either is changing or could change. Make sure you're taking those long agreements. Um, I don't know if you're doing this, Judith, but one of the ways I would take a long agreement, especially as markets were changing, is in my listing agreement, I would give people the ability to opt out with a 24-hour written notice. They could end the agreement. And the reason to do that is it allows you to ask for more time at that listing agreement, right? You could ask for a year listing agreement because they can opt out at any point. And once people sign, they commit to you. So it's not likely they're going to opt out unless you really mess up. And by the way, if you really messed up, they were going to get out of the agreement anyway. Okay. So all you're doing is using that to leverage yourself into a longer agreement. Judith, did you have to make price reductions on your listing?
Yes, we did. We made 3 price reductions.
3 price reductions over 6 months. Yeah. Now, Judith is a pro and she knows she's got to move down to that market. And Judith, do you keep your people updated once a week on progress of what's happening with the listing?
Yes, I send emails and I call at least more than I probably would in a good market because they need to hear from you constantly, knowing that you're on it, you're working on it. I think a lot of problems occur when you kind of go missing in action because there's no activity. So I do. I both call and email my clients weekly in this market.
Cool. Well, congratulations getting it under contract. Oh, by the way, what was the variation from the top to the bottom, like where you started and then where you ended? Like Blake had to go down 25,000 to find
So
the market.
we started out at 2 million and we just closed at just under 1.8.
1.8. So about a 10% drop in that
Mhm.
price from top to bottom. All right, cool. And when you were making your price changes, how much of an increment were you adjusting each time?
I mean, it was different each time. I think the first time we made $100,000 price reduction, and I think the second time it was like 75,000, something like that.
Okay, cool. Cool. Thank you for sharing. That's great. And congratulations getting that under contract. It'll be a
Thank
great January start, won't it?
you.
Both of you. Yeah. All right. Anybody else got something they'd like to share? Go ahead.
I want to share. I am partnering with a lender here in my area that has some amazing first-time home buyer incentives as well as just buyer incentives in general. He's offered to rebate part of his feedback to the buyer to help them with closing costs and things like that. And so we've been brainstorming on how to use those and get the word out. And so I went to a couple of apartment complexes yesterday. In one of those, I was able to meet with the manager, and she said that she would be open to letting me host first time, or not necessarily first time, but home buyer events there at the apartment complex. And she said that she even had 3 people that had given notice that month that said they were intending to buy a house. So, just my experience from knowing how that works in the past, working for a company that managed 300 units to 500 units at a time. I know that there can be a lot of turnover. So I was really excited that this apartment manager is open to partnering with us.
Cool. That's great, Angela. And I assume you're going to use some of the first-time homebuyer programs and talk about
Mhm.
those in these presentations and these seminars.
Yes. Yep.
That's neat. And having the lender participate with you is advantageous. And
It's
hopefully
huge.
they're really good at these programs too, right?
He is very experienced and he's kind of new to this area. He's from Houston, but he's lived in another state for a long time. And so he's very seasoned, but newer to this area. So it's kind of neat that we have partnered together because we're both in a similar situation and ready to get out there and meet new people.
That's cool. When you're promoting the event, be sure to highlight the most important items to the participants. In this case, the tenants. The tenants' biggest concern is down payment and monthly payment. So that's what you want to really highlight. And a lot of these programs are zero down, like a VA loan. But there are other programs that, depending on their income and so forth in your state, they may be able to get in with zero or a very low amount. Like in our area, it used to be $1,000. Get in with $1,000, and it was actually better to promote get in with $1,000 than get in with no money down, because people believe it and they have a contribution. They believe they can make that. So find out what your programs are that are available, and then highlight one of those programs and say, hey, we're going to talk about these in the seminar if you want to come find out how to buy a home with no money down and get a monthly payment that may be close to your rental payment right now.
Right. Yeah.
Angela, I have a question for you too. Did I understand that you connected with the management at the apartment complex to do this?
Mhm.
Now, what is their incentive to have you teaching their tenants how to move out?
So that's a great question. And I kind of just tried to shorten this a little bit, but I also work with a lot of leases as well. So I lease properties and I have a group of people that are wanting to rent as well. And so they have in our area, some apartment complexes or communities will have finders. You can become a finder for them. And basically, once I've signed up with her as well, I'm able to promote these almost like I'm a leasing agent for them. But they have an agreement, they'll pay me a commission if I bring them a tenant. And these are like apartment homes. They have townhomes as well as they're really, really nice, newer and modern. And so their rent ranges from anywhere from like $800 up to $2,500 a month.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a
Thank you.
win-win to build that relationship with her because I can help promote her community. And at the same time, she has people that are going to be moving out anyway. And she's like, and I love to give events to my community. I want to be a resource for them, to do better in their lives. So she seemed like she was very passionate about that.
Yeah, that's the right attitude all the way around. I think that even her clients, her tenants, are going to appreciate the apartment complex is supporting something that shows you how to build some wealth through owning the real estate. That's great.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Good job, Angela. That's fantastic. Kevin, did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question to Angela. And how usually like it works? You guys split the kind of all expenses on advertising, like on food, things like that? Because I never done this before, events like that, I mean.
Sure, yeah. And it's been a while. I've done them here in Houston, but I didn't have a partner when I did them. And so I paid for everything. I did do food. And what I found is food is good, but a lot of times people don't eat that much. So you don't need to spend a whole lot of money on food and things like that. But for this kind of situation, because it is in an apartment community, I would probably offer a good, nice snack and choices of drinks and things. But I don't know. So we will, with the events that I do, I always try to get sponsors to sponsor either a giveaway or food or the marketing on that. And I always include them with all of the marketing and things. So with this particular person, we're pretty much going 50-50 with everything because we are truly partnering on this concept. But yeah, you can make it whatever you'd like. And Yeah, so the home buyer events I've done before, one of them, the most recent one, I did at a title company. But I'm really excited to do them at an apartment community because I feel like that'll be easy for the residents to be able to go and attend. And it's a very specific group. If their community is promoting it and letting me promote it, then they're probably a little bit more confident, that it's legitimate. So
Nice. And what's the return on your kind of like investment time and money, like usually? How many clients you can close from this kind of event?
I'm new to
Yeah.
this. Yeah, that's a really good question. We'll see, and hopefully I'll be able to answer that here, in a few months. But I would say that in the past, the people that I coached to help them do something like this with a group of renters did not always follow through. And so they would have one event and then kind of, and then have another event. A different person would have an event and they didn't really stick with it. So my goal is to stick with it and see, but I would say it was actually not bad. So maybe with one event, getting one solid buyer that ended up in a closing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because
Nice
I
job.
did. Oh, yeah, go
Sorry,
ahead,
go ahead,
Max.
Evan.
No, I just want to say, like, yeah, I did a couple times this type of events in our office, but I just advertise it by myself on Facebook page. I have like, I mean, like we all do probably like, yeah, 4,000 something like friends. And I just advertise like, okay, for first home buyers, I will do like seminar. And pretty much it's like around like, Russian, Ukrainian speaking community, because it's like most of my clients, like you understand already by my accent, right? So, and yeah, usually like it's come like around maybe 7 to 10 people. Not so big community like Angela expected, but still kind of like it's small group. And I check like my production usually like, yeah, I can, work with a few of them and close at least one from like each seminar. Yeah, this is kind of like, yeah, good way, my opinion, like, yeah, to get the clients to kind of hit them up. But again, like I did it like for small group, not for a big like Angela planning to do. So just, yeah, interesting kind of how it will go for you.
Yeah, I can't wait to share more.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks.
That's great. Good job. And seminars certainly are a great way to find new clients. And I love that you guys were all sharing your ideas there. Um, uh, One quick thought on that. If you're going to join in with somebody and do co-marketing, like a lender or a title company, just make sure you're following the rules. You're not making any RESPA violations. Talk to your broker about that. General idea is the way typically, and I'm not giving any legal advice, but typically the best way to do this is to make sure that everybody pays to a vendor. So nobody's pulling money to pay the vendor. You and let's say the mortgage company are each cutting a check for half of the bill to go to whoever you're paying. That money is going directly to the provider, and that way no money is being pooled, and it doesn't look like it's any kind of compensation one way or the other outside of the normal channels. So hopefully that made sense. If you have any confusion on that, that's good. Go ask your broker for clarification. They'd be happy to make sure you're doing this properly. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Thank you, by the way, for everybody for the good news. Yevon, you had shared some good news earlier. And is there any other good news you want to share before we jump into our hot topic?
Probably like, yeah, just maybe share information. You remember I told you like I got like 2 clients and we submit like 2 offers for same deal situation. Yeah, and one client won, another one lose. So like, yeah, this is the deal, kind of like what I explained. Like, yeah, usually I try to use the strategy, like to bring like a few more buyers, in the same deal, and at least like one can get it. Yeah, this is kind of like how it works for me. Like, yeah, we get it done with the client. We put like one client put like 5K over, another client put 7K over, and the second client, yeah, won this deal.
Man, and I'm sure you went back to the other client who didn't get it and say, boy, you just missed it by 2K. Next time,
Right.
right? And so we
Yeah.
used to call that the school of hard knocks. Sometimes your client has to lose so they can win later.
Yes.
And I tell the client that you are in the school of hard knocks now. Was that a lesson? What did we learn from that? Was there anything to learn from that? How do you feel about that? Ask a lot of questions with your client. You can deepen the relationship, learn more about their objectives, and help them move forward. Good job, Yevon.
Thank you.
All right, let's do this. We're going to talk now about this idea of hosting a event to generate more repeat and referral for your business. And this is going out to your PCSOI, your past clients and sphere of influence, your friends, family, past clients. And that's the concept here. What you're trying to do, by the way, the top agents, as I analyze them, they love events because it's a great way to reach out to someone in a friendly way, non-threatening. You're not begging for business, so it's easy for the agent. It's fun all around. And you want to be in front of your people as often, as frequently as possible without being overbearing. And so the way the top agents do it, the way that we've designed RAMS, is that you want to have multiple events throughout the year. And what people have learned from event marketing is the event is not as important as the invitation. The invitation is all important because the invitation is the touch. Remember, the whole purpose of the event is simply to get your face in front of your people. Get your name in front of your people. Move up in their mind into that top slot of real estate agent, right? Everybody has a list of 3 in their mind of anything. And for real estate agent, they've got a list of 3 agents. Sometimes they have to really think about it, but they can name off 3 agents. And you want to go from wherever you were, 5 position, 3 position 2, and move all the way up to 1. And every time you do a little touch, you move up in that ranking, because we don't know what day they're going to decide to move, or what day their friend's going to bump into them and say, hey, I'm thinking about moving. And we want to be at top of mind so they immediately go, oh yeah, Yevon, that's the guy you want to talk to, right? That you got to be moving up in their consciousness. All right. And so that's why we do events. Not only the beauty of the event is not only the invitation, you get to make it multiple times. Okay, so you get to do it multiple times over, say, a couple-week period. And if you do 4 of those events over the course of a year, boom, you've reached most of the direct contacts that you would need to have a thriving business. Okay, so that's why we like event marketing. The other thing about event marketing is people hear about events, at least old timers like me, and we get real nervous because in the old days, an event was this huge, monstrous thing where we would go have a gala, right? We'd have this big party and we'd have dancing and music and food and a big ballroom, and it would get really expensive really fast. And so most agents would shy away from it. That's how these events started. It started as an annual appreciation party. And then again, what the top agents noticed was the invitation was more important. They were getting business from people that never showed up to the event. And they recognized it was because of the invitation more than the event. Now, the event is powerful. Getting face to face with people is absolutely powerful. I don't want you to take that wrong. It's just that the invitation will go out to everybody in your group, and therefore you're getting a great reach through your PCSOI just by the invitation, whether they participate in your event or not. By learning that, what happened was that the top agents started to do smaller events and easier events and less costly events because they realized it was the invitation. And so we took that idea in RAMS, and we do a very low level event, if you will, as far as how difficult it is to do and the cost. And so what we do is one of the lower level items, which is a giveaway. A giveaway is very powerful, gets people interested, it gets your name in front of them real fast, right? And it gets them interested. It's easy to run, it's very inexpensive. You can run it virtually, you don't have to rent out a room. And so that's why we do events. And the events that we picked events throughout the year, and we try to front load it a little bit towards the beginning of the year because so many people move at that time, and the spring seems to be a hot time for most markets around the country. And so we want to get this kicked off as quickly as we can. And the event right now that we recommend is a Valentine's Day event, right? Valentine's Day is coming up on February 14th. So we're here on the 21st. We're talking about 3 weeks away. And that's plenty of time to get this kind. That's the other thing about a small event. It's easy to get up and running and run it quickly. All right. And so we're going to walk through today how to put together real quickly just some of the highlights on a Valentine's Day event. And everybody in the group, you have the outline for the step-by-step, every little itty-bitty detail in the in the guide, which we're going to show you in a minute. All right, but I wanted to give you that background of why we're doing these events and the power of the event. Again, the event is in the invitation. Can't tell you how many times people tell me, yeah, I just got a referral from X, Y, and Z. I'm like, great, did they go to your event? No, but I called them to invite them. They said no, and then a couple days later, because I'm now top of mind, right? All right, so let's walk through this. I'm going to share my screen here. And let's pop this open. All right, everybody see my screen? All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this a little bigger so it's easier to see. All right, so this is the quick start guide, and y'all have access to this. If you don't remember where it is, let me know, and I'll give you the quick link after this call. But this is the quick start guide. It's for RAMS agents. We use it here at Epic. You can use it anywhere. You can use these concepts. All right, so let's go ahead and go through. First of all, I want you to know you have a bunch of training videos. Everything we're going to go through has a video attached to it. So if you like learning by video, great. If not, this is all in checklist format. So we're going to get into the table of contents. For the quick start guide, level 0 is preparing your list. Level 1 is email marketing. Level 2 is social media. Level 3 is direct mail. And then we're down into level 4, which is calls and events. And we're going to be going into events. All right, so let's hop down in there and I'll show you how you can go pretty quickly with a quick link. So we got these quarterly events. Let me show you what I did again there. So if I click on the wording, quarterly group events, you'll notice a link pops open, a hyperlink. And if I click on that, oops, there we go. It's going to take me all the way down to that page. That's kind of a nice little feature, pops you through. This is just a Google Doc. All right, I'm not going to go through all the details, but I'm going to hit some highlights here. Again, you have a video for each area to learn in. This gives you the overview of events, why we do the giveaways. This refers to making sure you're following your state laws. It's very important, by the way, when you're doing the giveaway, to make every state has a different rule to make sure you're not doing gambling. You want to make sure you're not doing gambling, so you got to make sure you're following the rules. If you follow the rules and there's no cost to enter for most states, that's where you're going to be okay. But again, make sure you're complying with your state's laws, because I'm not your attorney. All right, just check with your broker. All right, that said, let's go into prize selection. You want to set, these are some things you want to do to prepare. You want to decide what kind of thing you want to give away. You can change any of this, but what I like to do is 3 prizes. They're nice and easy and everybody can understand them. They're gift cards. They're going to be for $100, $50, and $25. The more winners you have, the more people who are happy. If your area is a higher price area, you may decide to do $500, $250, and $500 and $100 for prizes. Or if you're in a low cost area or you're on a very low budget, then just do $25, $10, and $5. The amount doesn't matter as much. Remember, it's all in the invitation. All the power is in the invitation. So don't let any of this stop you from hosting an event. You could do just one grand prize, by the way. You don't have to do it in 3s. You could do it in 10. You could have 10 gift cards for $25 a piece, as an example, if you want to go out to have more winners. In our situation, we're going to do today, we're going to talk about the Valentine's Day giveaway. And we're going to recommend a romantic dinner for 2. All right. And we're just pick any restaurant. I like to pick a restaurant that has a gift card, though. And so we're going to pick the Olive Garden restaurant because they're all over the country and you can easily get a gift card for them. Okay. But if you have a local restaurant that everybody loves and they can give you a gift card or a gift certificate of some kind, that'd be fantastic. The only thing I would not recommend on these is, and I've heard people doing this before, where you just go to the restaurant and say, yep, the meal's on me, whatever they want. That can get real expensive real fast, especially if they're ordering alcohol, wine, etc. All right, So you want to pick this all and get this set up at the beginning. What are you going to give away? And then you're going to set your event dates. So like we've got the Valentine's Day giveaway. You're going to start, in this case, you're going to start your marketing on the 1st. You're going to let people know they need to enter by, and you need a deadline. For this particular one, we're doing the 14th. See, we're going to give away the prize on the Valentine's Day. You could move that back if you want them to have the prize in order for them to go out on the 14th. But we're just going to give it away on the 14th, or excuse me, have the end of the raffle or the giveaway on the 14th. And then we're going to state what day is going to be the drawing. We're going to have an actual drawing where we pick a name, and then we're going to deliver that award as quickly as possible. So that's why we got the February 15th and the February 18th. All right, we'll keep moving. And by the way, again, there's videos on each one of these if you prefer video learning. So we've, what else do we got? Entry method. Now we're going to talk about creating a landing page in your CRM. That's how we are going to do it, and we'll show you that in just a second. You can have some other way for them to enter. They could just call you, and you could just write it down on a piece of paper. Again, don't overcomplicate this stuff. Make sure that it works. But we'll show you kind of a fancy way to make it work through your CRM. We'll show you that in just a second. This actually then goes into how to set up a page inside of Lofty and all the details to do that. Okay, and you'll notice it's really step by step. Yeah. Down to the granular level, all the way down to the body copy that you're going to have. Everything is in here. All right, so let's keep going. We're going to do winner selection. Once everybody has entered the contest, you've got to pick a winner. You can do it as simple as putting on little pieces of paper, putting names in a hat and pulling out of the hat, or looking on a, well, there's all kinds of different options. We're going to show you a really cool one that's called Wheel of Names. And I'll show you that in just a second. And it's really neat because you can video yourself doing it on, let's say, a Zoom call like we're doing now. And then you can share that. You can even do it live on a Facebook Live, or there's a lot of different ways to do this, but you can use video to show that you actually did pick a name and created a winner. And that works really well. I remember Blake did one a while back. It looked pretty cool. All right, good. Let's keep going. Winner notification, you want to make sure that they get the award. You want to, if you can at all possible, make sure that you document that with a photograph if you're doing it in person, or video, or if you're doing it over Zoom somehow. And let's say you're sending them, instead of a gift card, you could actually do a digital gift card, and then you can just email it to them. But if you can get some kind of proof that you did it, that's super valuable, because you're going to want to blast that out to your group saying, hey, look, Sally Jones won the contest, and here she is getting her card. The reason that that is so powerful, and you should do this step, is it shows everybody that you follow through. It shows your list that you do what you say you're going to do. Okay? And then they feel more confident now if they give you a piece of real estate, a transaction, or a referral to their best friend, you're not going to drop the ball. Okay, that's why it's valuable and important to take that winner notification and blast it out to the group. All right, and then you're going to deliver the prize. And so now let's go into the marketing. I'm sure everybody wants to know. By the way, I'm going to show you the giveaway selection. So here is the entry form that will show you how to do. It's all in the guide, but here is an example of something that you can set up inside your CRM. And we've got this photo in the background that we're going to see, we're going to use all the time. By the way, we get that photo from Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-S, P-E-X-E-L-S.com. Pexels.com is really neat because you can get photographs that you can use that are royalty free. They're royalty free. You don't have to pay anything to get it. You can just download it and use it. You do have to follow their terms of use, which basically means you have to use their URL that they have for the photograph. If you post the photograph online and other places, just read their terms of service. But it's basically young artists and young photographers and so forth that want to get their work out into the market. And so it's really cool for you as well. You have some pretty neat stuff. Anyway, we've got all this text that you can use. But it has a headline. It tells everybody what's going on. You've got this promotion. And in order for them to enter, they just have to put in their name, their phone number, and their email address. When they hit submit, boom, it goes to you and notifies you. Because it's connected to our CRM, and you should already have your list in your CRM, it now clicks in your CRM that they want to be part of the event. It happens automatically. And at the end, then you can just pull out a list of everybody who has signed up. Okay, that's the power of that. All right, so that's the entry method. And then you are going to start promoting the event. So in the guide, we have some recommended language. And this is just to get you started. You can modify and change this all that you want. You can change the prize amounts, the dates, etc. But this will get you going down the right path. For instance, in Lofty, here is the email all ready to go. We just have to make a couple of updates on it. But you'll notice that in this particular case, it will auto enter their name and merge that in for the prize and send that out to them, letting them know all the details. Okay, so we've got it in email promotion. Let's keep going. Again, I'm just trying to give you the super highlighted view here. Social media invitation. We've got this picture that we just showed you, and we've got the ability to download it. Let me think it's going to work here if I do this. Yeah, so there's the photo that we pulled out of Pixels. If you want to use it, we've linked it already in, and that's for the Valentine's Day giveaway. Okay, and then we've got some text that you can put into your social media post. Use ours, use your own, but this will give you a starting point of what you can do for the post. If you don't know what to post, there's the text, there's the picture, you're off and running. Okay, pretty cool. What else do we got here? So now let's go. We got 4 events. That's why we're flying through a bunch of different stuff. We got a direct mail invitation. If you got enough time, direct mail is great as well. Again, remember, everything is in the invitation. Getting your name, your face, your contact information in front of people and reminding them that you're in real estate. That's why I like direct mail, because social media is great, but it may not go out to everybody on your list, right? Email is great, but it may end up in their spam folder. Direct mail, pretty confident that the U.S. Postal Service is going to get it in their mailbox. They could screw it up, but not as much as the others. So anyway, I recommend direct mail if you can pull this off. Here's the same idea. We got your photo for the postcard. I'm going to show you the postcard in just a second. In fact, let me do that right now. All right, so here's the postcard. I'm going to move this over here. Here's the postcard for the giveaway. There's the front of the card, what we recommend. And again, you can modify and change this all you want. We've got this set up in our CRM, so it's easy to just throw out, send out. Our CRM allows us to make an order from inside of it for this as well, but you can send this to any printer, mail house that you like working with. Here's the front of the card. It's basically telling them about the event, what the prizes are, how to enter. They can call or text you, or they can go to this link, which I showed you a minute ago, was that landing page. It tells them, hey, there's no cost to enter it, and it gives them the deadlines and dates. On the back of the card is a simple promotion for you about real estate, reminding them you're in real estate, having your face and your picture and your contact information. Hopefully they'll keep that card for more than 10 seconds before they toss it in the can. They might keep it because there's a promotion going on, might throw it up on their refrigerator, right? And now your information is there for quick reference, and they're going to remember that, right? They put it up there because of the they put this postcard up on their refrigerator because they wanted to enter the event. But then 3 days later, they run into Johnny Jones, who wants to move. And they go, yeah, well, wait a minute. You know, I got Mike's contact information. Let me pull the card down, and boom, there it is. Okay. So that's the other reason you want to do this postcard and the power of it. All right, let's keep going. Where are we? So there's all of the information you could use to set up your own postcard. All the copy, all the text is already there. Just trying to make it as easy as possible for you to do this event. Don't be scared, just dive into it. And by the way, you don't have to do all this. You don't have to send all the different marketing. You could just call them up or text them or whatever. Make it as simple as you need. We even have that, by the way, for you if you just want to make a phone call. Or add a phone call to this, depending on your personality style, what you like doing. So we got call or text the event information. And again, it's optional, But here you go. We're going to give you the language to do that, to make a quick phone call or text the information to them to invite them to this event. Okay. All right. And then once they enter the event, we're almost done here. Once they enter the event, you're going to get all this contact information, all the people who want to be in the event. Then you go to the Wheel of Names. This is pretty cool. So if you go to wheelofnames.com, somebody set this up, really awesome. What you do is you just enter all the names of all the people who are going to participate here, and it adds them to this spinning wheel. Let me show you as an example. I'm going to add, I don't think there's John yet. We're going to add John. So we add John there. And did it add? Yeah, there's John now on the wheel. Can you see him in red? All right, it just added John to the wheel. All right, so you can put in an unlimited number of people, and you, again, just imagine yourself doing this either live on a Facebook Live, or you're recording it on your Zoom or a video. And just like we're doing now, where we got our picture on one side and we got the spinning wheel, and we got all the names, and we're announcing to everybody, here's the contest, here's everybody who's entered, let's find out who the winner is, right? And you have to tell them, by the way, which prize you're giving away. This is for the $100 grand prize. And you're going to click this button in the middle and watch what happens. There it goes. Gives us a winner, has a little celebration. It tells us the name. We announce, hey, Eric, you're the winner. Congratulations. You get the $100 gift card, Eric. I'm going to reach out to you here real shortly within the next couple of days and make sure you get your gift card. Hope you appreciate that. In fact, just give me a second. I'm going to write that down, and you write it down and you go, great. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to click remove to take Eric out so he doesn't win prize number 2. All right, now Eric's name is off the list, and we go, all right, let's go for grand prize. Let's go for prize number 2. Second place is a $50 gift card. Let's find out who the winner is, and we click it, and there it goes. This is kind of the fun part, right? We're giving away. This is the event. This is the event.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to comment when I did this last year for Valentine's. The Wheel of Names was probably as big a part of it as anything. Everybody loved that, and because it was such a great visual, and the people who had entered, they could see their name on the list. So that's just magic right there. That little Wheel of Names thing, putting it on a video, putting it out. People love that. It's just so fun.
So smart. Whoever created this little program, thank you so much. It's awesome. And how did I hear about it? Top agents, right? You just find out from other agents. They give you great information. Thank you for sharing, Blake. I know that was a big hit and success, and you had a great start for your first year doing these concepts. I'm so happy about that. So we hit remove, and then you can move on to the next one. Notice it took their name off. So pretty cool stuff. All right, so again, let's go back here. The quick start guide showed everything you need to get one of these events up and running. In fact, I'm going to put this in the chat for everybody here in just a second in case you didn't have that link. And I think I'll close this out and then open up for any questions, comments, or thoughts while I'm putting this in chat. There, the link is in chat in case you didn't have it for quick reference. Boom. What do we think, everybody? What do you think about putting on an event? Who's going to put on a Valentine's Day giveaway event? Yeah, Blake's in. Judith, you're in. Yeah, Angela, Yevon, maybe.
Well, you put it all together so nicely. It's not hard to do after seeing how you did it.
Thank you, Judith. I appreciate that. Yeah, we spent a lot of time putting that all together in the back end for you so you could go real fast. The whole goal was so you could go fast and implement it quickly. Remember, it's all about the relationships. In the end, it's all about relationships and making great connections with people. And this is just a medium to make sure that you're staying in front of them and you're connecting. And that's what's going to happen, right? You're going to make these phone calls. You're going to invite people to an event, and you're going to, for a business, I'm a hardcore business oriented person. So sometimes I lose track of what's valuable or important and what the real purpose is on these calls. Because I'm like trying to get through 10 people real fast. It's okay if you're like me, I'm just going to tell you, it's okay to stop and smell the roses and talk to Sally Jones about what's going on in her life. That's probably 10 times more valuable than the event. Okay, so don't be afraid of doing that. All right, good. Any questions, comments, thoughts, issues on this? Right.
If you're sending out a monthly newsletter, it's a great opportunity to have that as one of the components in your PCSOI monthly newsletter, and have the link to the sign up page really handy. And just one more thing that you can talk to them about when you call them is, did you get the newsletter? Did you see it? Want to make sure I have, the correct contact information if you haven't done that for a while and stuff like that.
Cool. Good job. Good thought, Angela. Absolutely agree with that. All right, good. All right, anybody have any questions, thoughts, or issues on Valentine's Day before we move on?
No, good.
Cool. All right, good. So there's an event for you. I love event marketing. Let's do this. We're in the production call. We have a few minutes left. Are there any burning questions that you have about production before we end the call? Any issues or challenges you're running into? Anything you're planning and want bouncing off the group? Anything else?
I have more question about tools which you guys use. Is it like any chance we can discuss later, maybe next time?
I'm sorry, say again, Yevon?
I mean, like, is it like any tools or software you guys use? I would like to discuss this topic like someday.
Oh, sure. We can get into that. You bet. Yeah, that
Okay,
might
okay.
be a good topic for us on Thursday.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. All right, good. Well, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to end our recording for the day, and then we'll go into our huddle. We'll be ending our RAMS agents production call. Thank you, everybody, for being here.